Yeah? Bud rubbing. Yeah, so 26 you said? 26, 27 going up, yeah. Good afternoon, folks. Who's in the chat? Who's joined us in the chat? Let me know who you are, guys. We are here in the vineyard, having a lovely time, doing some bud rubbing. And this job, it's very simple, but very important. We're getting rid of bits of excess growth that we do not want. And it's nice and slow, nice and relaxed. And here we are, really. So who are you? Who's there? Because otherwise this is just going to be me chatting and chatting and chatting. Getting rid of little extra bits of growth that we do not want. Here we are in the vineyard, by the way. And you are talking to me. I am talking to you. So here we are, up in the vineyard. And we's bud rubbing. Rub a dub dub. Next plant. So all these little bits down here, I don't want them here. I want them further up on these little bits. So I'm just finding all of these, just getting rid of them. Brutally murdering my plant. All these little bits, you see all these? Don't want any of them. None of them. Don't want a thing. Just knocking them all off. Eventually, these would grow into big things, which are much harder to deal with. So much easier to knock off now. Which is why we're doing that. La, la, la. So we're in Worcestershire in England, and yeah, just showing you what I'm doing, really. This is kind of what owning a vineyard is like. Lots of little bits of growth. Look at all these things. Don't want any of them. Look, I'm just looking for pink things. And then they just fall off really easily. Rub them with my fingers. Too much growth. Oh, the fun sponge. There you are. Hello. See, I do have a vineyard, I'm not lying. I just hadn't had data until now to come up here. There's a little bird, a couple of birds. So yeah, it is Le Moi up in the vineyard. Back soon, I go for lunch. Yeah, no worries. You chill. I'm going to be here for the next hour or so just doing this job. So, here we are. Who's the other person in chat? Come on, it's just a couple of us. How are we feeling about all this? There's a bit of extra stuff here. Nice and relaxing here in the countryside, doing some manual labour. And this is what my self-isolation looks like, to be honest. This is why I'm very happy with all this, because this is what I gotta do. So you see little bits. I don't need that one, that's just unnecessary. What's going on here? That's all right. See some little things back here. Don't want those. Don't want these guys. Don't want that guy. Going to show you the vineyards whilst I'm just doing some of these little bits. Welcome, person in the chat. We are here in a vineyard. You are speaking to me. I is Chris. Hello. And we are working in the vineyard. So I make wine. My job is to make wine. And we are currently throwing away little things like this. So we do not need them. Well, we need them, but we need them in better places. Vines grow forever. Vines are super hardy. And so we're just kind of focusing their growth where we want them, rather than everywhere like they would do naturally. We're saying, no, don't grow there, grow here. So all these little bits, I want them on here. Those are good. These are not so good. I don't want them. So I'm just going to get rid of these. And it looks really brutal, but looking after vines is about being brutal. So all of these, terrible position, you know, under, in the shade, do not want. Little cluster up here, do not want. Is that enough? That's probably maybe too many. We'll see how those go. I'll leave them for now. Oh yeah, Yeah, look at all these. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a person come back in. Welcome, guys. How are we all? How is the person in there? Who are you? I am Chris. Hello. And we are here in my vineyard, as you can see, my family's vineyard. And we make wine. These are the plants that make your wine, or your parents' wine, or the wine you've heard about. So that's what we're doing. And we're having a nice little time in the vineyard, doing some nice, easy work that needs to get done. Is very simple, but it's very relaxing. So I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. So these are a vine. What I'm doing is I'm getting rid of unnecessary these things. These are great here. This is what we want, but we don't want them in certain places. So for example, this one here, it's not in the right place. It's a bit too low. And what else don't we want? Like some of these, which one is not good? Let's get rid of that one. These things will grow up really big. So if I get them, you see down here, these little bits, I don't want any of these. So if I get them now, it saves me more work later on, or saves my family more work. So they just grow everywhere, these little things. It's called bud rubbing. These are buds. And they are good apart from when they're in the wrong place. So I'm just bud rubbing. Super simple. Super nice. So yeah, just got to be done. So these plants here, these are 50 years old. These are 50-year-old vines. And these make some of my more famous wines. This makes sparkling wine, and wine that sells for about £90, $90 in some restaurants. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm just kind of looking at all these little things and working out what to do. So who are you in chat? Why are you here? What's your name? What do I want? What do I want here? Do I want that? Yeah, you see, there's a few little decisions to make. Not have that. Not have that. Do I want that there? Maybe not. Let's get rid of that. Cam lost. Hello. It's a nice little smiley face. Yes. So we're just enjoying the peace and quiet of the English countryside. It's a bit cloudy today. It's going to start. The weather's going to turn tomorrow. So we're doing some outdoor work whilst it is still nice, and it is lovely out here. Nice temperature. Not as hot as previous days, but also definitely not cold. So we're nowhere near London, in case you ask. So we're in England, but London is a long way. London is about 2.5 hours away. We are closer to the centre of the country. Close to the west, on the left-hand side of the country. Close to country of Wales. Do I want any of those things? Let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that one. Let's leave that just in case. Yeah. And yes, we make the wine here. We make and sell the wine here. We make 10,000 bottles of wine, which we sell to restaurants and shops. And from our shop, you can see all of our social media below. I've only been doing Twitch for a short time now. I'm new to Twitch, but everything else is pretty established. So look at there if you want to know more of us. You'll see pictures of my dog and our place and our labels and things. Right now we're just in the vineyard because I've also got data as well, which I don't always have. So yes, you spot any? Let's get rid of this one. Oh, that's already gone. So the business is old. The business is one of the oldest vineyards in the country, but my family are brand new owners. We've been here for less than 3 years now. And what made me want to do wine? I just like wine. I like the taste of wine. I was working in a wine shop before this, so I have sold and spoken about wine, but I've never made it until now. And this is what we are doing. So this is one of the steps to making wine, is doing this very easy looking job that is very important. So yeah, just cracking on and getting on with it. Tell me about yourself, person in chat. Where are you? What country are you from? Are you in your teens? Are you in your 20s? Are you in your 30s? I'm 29. I'm older than most people here on Twitch, but I'm still young. I'm still young, I promise. And I'm on Twitch, not necessarily to sell, just to chat and add to what I do anyway. I'm doing this job anyway. I suppose I could have some people watching, wouldn't hurt. Canada turned 30 not long ago. Awesome. There we go. So you're one of the few adults on here as well. Not many adults on Twitch. I've met a lot of little teenagers, which is fine. It's computer games. But you and I are a minority. I'm turning 30 in September, so I'm 30 this year. And what do you do? Are you in food and drink? Are you working? You're not working. What job were you doing before this? What was your life? Tons of little things we don't want. Don't want any of these. Tons of growth. Tons of growth. So yeah, I used to work in wine before this. Not for long. But still, so this is about my 6th year working with wine, 5th, 6th year. I was a painter, interior and exterior. Oh, awesome, cool. So that is also a lot of what we do here as well, that although we make wine, we're just business owners mainly. And so sometimes I've got to paint my shop and I've got to do some interior designing and things. So my job isn't only this, it's more of a general business owner. So yes, I do those things as well. Again, probably equally as therapeutic as this sometimes. How are we doing? So we've got this much to go. We've done this, so we're probably maybe 2/3 of the way up this row. Times, I think there's over 100 rows here, so this is a very long, repetitive, but pleasant job. As is some of the things you do, I imagine. Being a painter, I guess sometimes you just gotta, do some very repetitive. There we go. Let's get rid of some of these. Go on, focus. I like art as well. So you painter as in just like doing walls and buildings and houses, or you painter as in like art? Because I like art. I can't do it, I appreciate it, and it's the one thing I kind of regret, not being able to do art. But I would look at a painting and I will say it's beautiful. And my main thing is food and drink. I love food. I love food. I love eating well. I love thinking about what I'm eating, asking about what I'm eating. So that is my thing. I don't work anymore. Had heart surgery a few years back. I was painting houses before. Recently been doing some paintings, but nothing great. Oh, heart surgery. That's worrying. Sad about that. I hope you're doing okay. Was it genetic, or was it kind of lifestyle? I had a friend at university who had a genetic thing with his heart. It kind of, the wiring wasn't very good. And so he had to have heart surgery and on all these chemicals and things. Which is sad for the guy because he's my age. So genetics. Wolf Parkinson's White. Oh, I don't know that. He had myotachycardia, I think what he called it. So he would just be sitting there and then suddenly his heart would start racing at 200 BPM and just do it for an hour for no reason at all. And then it would go down to like 50 BPM and he'd just regularly pass out and he'd just be sitting there and he just wouldn't wake up and things. So terrifying. Same thing, yeah. So, yep, friend with that, still with that. So I'm sad for you, because that's a very hard thing, because, you know, it's all the energy spent, you know, your heart pumping that fast, and it's terrifying for your loved ones, you know, you just wouldn't come out of his room one day and then he came and said, I've just been passed out for the last 4 hours. And it's like, oh my God. And none of us knew. So if anything serious had happened, we wouldn't have a clue. So yeah, sorry for you, buddy. He's been going through all sorts of things. He's been on all the strong medications. And I think he had some surgery, but none of it's quite worked. So yeah, fingers crossed for you, dude. Not a good thing to deal with, yeah. Genetics, eh? It's a bugger. Let me see all this stuff down here. We don't want any of this. Up. Let's get all this stuff off. I'll read your thing in a second. Let me just... There's my dad up there. That is WPW. It's extra wires in my heart. I had surgery and still dealing with it sometimes. Right. Yeah, I'm no expert. But... sad times, Mr. Dude. Oh, look at all this. A wealth of stuff down here. Let's get rid of all this. It's much better now, less frequent. I was never really passing out from the tachycardia. It's not enjoyable there. Yeah, and it's just unpredictable, and there's nothing you can do. And also, you can't really drink alcohol. You can't do coffee. So yeah, that is rubbish. So obviously when I met him, he was at university and he wanted to drink, but he couldn't. So, and then we had to take him to hospital one of the first weeks we moved in. Went for a night out, he passed out, and we had to come back early to take him to the hospital. So there you go. But he, you know, we're still good friends. I went to his wedding, he went to my wedding. So, yeah. Fingers crossed, dude. All the best. Health is most important, especially when you've had these things. You really appreciate how important it is just to have good health. Everything else is manageable, but if you're not healthy, then that trumps everything. So be happy. La 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 la. This is just endless, endless, endless. Well, at least you're painting. And even if it's bad, you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start learning at some point, so just try. Just do what you can. As you can see, this is a pretty chill stream. This is not memes and hilarity. This is a bit of life. If you want to know anything about alcohol as well, I do have a qualification. I worked in a wine shop. This is my job, so I do know my stuff about booze, if that is at all interesting. But I also do like beer, I do whiskey, I just like drink in general really, but in a very healthy way. I'm not a booze fiend, I don't really get drunk much, to be honest. I just like the taste. In fact, yesterday I had a delivery of some gins and some really weird spirits from a guy who makes gin. So he sent me some for free. We traded a bit of wine for some of his spirits and he gave me some weird stuff that he had. So I like trying lots of new things. Anybody could do this. Grapevines are pretty easy, to be honest. If you've got them established, you kind of know what you're doing. The actual work itself isn't hard at all. And stuff like this, you know, this would be good for your heart. We had some kids here already, I had some friends with some young kids and they were just running around and they were absolutely loving it. Because not many people have access to outdoors. So this is still my land, so I can just chill and self-isolate and be very happy. Some people find it really hard to get outside at the moment. So where are you in the world? Oh, you said you're Canada. I've been to Canada. I've been skiing there. Yeah, I've just been skiing. Of course, Tremblant. Beautiful, absolutely fantastic. Canadian wines are wonderful. Canadian food's wonderful. Canadian people are wonderful. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Canada and the little bits that I see and know. Too much growth. What are you doing? So yesterday I had tons of people watching this, but now not so many. So maybe they want to see the vineyard and not what I'm doing. This is just a lot of bending down and being quite healthy. It's good core work out this. Get down, look around. And I'm going to be doing this for the next hour or so. Depends. I mean, my phone will probably run out of charge before I'm done with the job. We can get to there. Let's get rid of all these little bits off. Clouds are coming in, it's getting a bit darker. I can't really change this to outdoors from here, can I? Can I change settings to outdoors? No, I can't. Which is a bit of a shame. No, I can't. Perhaps that would help. Okay, I'm going to switch to outdoors. If you want to join me back, give me a follow and I'll be online in a second. I'm just going to change to outdoors to see if that gets a different kind of crowd. So, back in a second.